Hey, hi, hello. Hey, hi, hello. How's it going, everybody? Fuck. I got this far and just realized I certainly did not set up my phone. That was silly of me. Hello, 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 hello. A big giant hello to Nimby, to Jose Shiny Hunts, and to Melkor, and to Nort. Hello, hi, hello. Oh my goodness, hello, hello, hello. Okay, we're doing something different today. We're doing something different. We're doing something very different today. Hi, my name's Hayano, and I don't talk about it a lot because, well, what's there to talk about? I don't talk about it a lot. I am, in fact, I do have a professional life. I do have a professional life, and it's VISDEV, visual development. So we're doing something a little different today. I was like, you know, I'm never gonna do stuff like this again because I don't really think I have the greatest viewership for it. So excuse me if I'm a little awkward about it. Excuse me if I'm a little shy about it. Yeah. Excuse me if that is the case. Where the hell is... I have so many more windows open than usual. Hello. Hey, hi, hello. My name is Hayano, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of visual development. Hello. I'd be happy to answer any questions I can. Please be aware, I am barely a professional. So yeah. Hello. Like I said, I am technically a professional, but I have not worked on anything you would recognize. Thank you. Hello, NaviQ. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I really appreciate that, but please only make fan art if you'd like to. I don't want to add any pressure to anyone to have to do anything like that. I always appreciate it, but it's never required. And thank you, Melko, for redeeming your point taxes. They will definitely go back into the community and not into my pocket when no one's looking. So, let's talk a little bit about VISDEV. So, I have done, at this point, POG graphic design. POG. Evading the sugar tax. So let's talk a little bit about VISDEV as a concept. I have mainly done visual development for 2D projects, so 2D animation mainly. I've done a little bit for games. When I was studying animation, I mainly wanted to get into character art and character drawing and all of that. But as I've grown as an artist, I think it's really important that I spread my wings and I started getting into prop designing. And so a lot of my prop design that I originally did was stuff for a short film that I worked on with my a short film that I worked on for one of my beloved mods. And I work in I'm definitely no professional. I work in on small short films still. So don't be expecting me to have any like crazy credits or anything, because I have no such thing. I've done base concept art for stuff before. There's
Shiny.
levels of the kind of concept art I've done. But hello, Dr. Hero, welcome in. And hello, Vidiaz. And hello, Lilith. Hello. Happy affiliate anniversary. Yes, I have been streaming for 5 years. I'm a little bit shy about that. I'm a little bit embarrassed about that. Not out of like, oh, blah, 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 you know? It's more out of like, it's been a while. I have not streamed as much as I should. Let's talk about the VISDEV project I'm working on right now. The last VISDEV project I worked on was helping out on a 48-hour project. So that was my last real kick in at VISDEV. I'm doing now I'm working on a project, which is why I was like, hey, I wonder if anyone's gonna mind if I do my work on stream. I don't, like I said, I'm not really an art person. Thank you for the head pats, NaviQ. So what you're gonna draw today? We're gonna do some VISDEV work. We're gonna do. I'm helping out on a short, a 3D short. So 3D pipeline VISDEV and 2D pipeline is slightly different. So I'm gonna have to dabble in some stuff that I don't have as much experience with, but I will figure it out. We're gonna go work as we go. Like 3D, 2D definitely still uses texture painting and whatnot, but like you have more room with 2D styles. With 3D, you need to provide textures for pretty much everything. I believe it's referred to as packing, maybe? Like creating like a tech, like a pack of textures to be used. So that's what we're gonna do. I did some sketching last night. I did some sketching last night while I was on the train back from seeing the doctor. Because we went to, so last night I had yesterday I had an appointment, and then after that we went for something to eat, just me and one of my roommates, just to make it a little bit better. Hello, One Coffee Ninja. Hi. Unfortunately, I am not doing Pokemon today. So the vibe that I was given was we are looking for the first prop that I've really got to hone in on. Let me find my Pinterest board, because I'm pretty prepared for this one. So some of these are a little bit janky because I didn't really know what I was looking for. So these are basically, the short that I'm working on is a spaceman short. Top clipper, whoa, and 15 streak. That's 6'7". I don't know what 6'7" means, but I hope it's positive. So let me grab my pen. So I did these on a train last night. I think they were done in about maybe like 2 to 3 minutes a piece. It was not a long train back. I think it was like a 20-minute ride, and I obviously had to get settled in a seat and stuff. And also, I don't think I spent more than like 2 to 3 minutes per piece on these, because I was just trying to get my ideas out. So the short we're working on is, you should post this on Twitter. Nah, I very rarely post my sketchbooks on any social media. It's very rare that I do that. I don't really post about the stuff I work on often. I mean, I haven't really been working on a lot of things recently, because obviously I've been giving streaming a big go. But I had this opportunity to work on this project for an old classmate of mine, and I absolutely jumped at the chance, because I would love to get some 3D, well, VISDEV for 3D into my portfolio. So we had some really quick sketches. The energy I wanted to get out is that this is, the main character is a guy in a spacesuit, and he is in space. I'm not going to go too much into the story or anything, because obviously not my place. I'm just helping out with some of the prop work. But one of the props that he has is A, it is based on a classic Walkman. B, it is based on it's based on a classic Walkman. B, they specifically wanted it to have a 3mm audio jack, so that it looked like a more classic thing that plugged into his helmet. So I'm not designing his helmet or anything, but I do understand that I have to design the wire that goes into his helmet, because obviously that's going to be on the 3D model and it's going to have to be modeled separately. So I'm going to design the wire, which is obviously a 3mm jack, which is completely pretty easy to do. I don't know if I want any tags on it or anything. So we had that as a specification. A specification that, again, it had to look similar to a Walkman and use cassettes specifically. But they also wanted it to be a little bit modernized of a Walkman, so it looked like it would be adapted for, like, space. Now, based on my research, the things that we know about, like, stuff that is modified for space is that actually it's quite easy to modify electronics for space as long as you're doing it towards, like, the NASA lineup. I know this is such a weird rabbit hole to go on, but trust me, it makes sense. So usually the plastic is a little bit thicker and blockier. So we want a kind of thicker, kind of blockier outer case that's going to protect the cassettes. We wanted these big, kind of thick buttons. So
shiny.
That... Yes, shiny. We wanted these kind of big, thick buttons because obviously he's a spaceman, he's got big gloves on, so it wouldn't make sense if it was little fiddlier buttons, and obviously the Walkman in general is going to be a bit
shiny.
bigger because of that. Yes, shiny. How do you get started with digital art? I used to make some a few years ago, but gradually life got busier, and unfortunately it's a hobby from the past. Okay. So, my experience with digital art is very varied. So for me, the minute I got my hands on a tablet, I'm not talking about like a drawing tablet as in like a screen tablet or anything. I mean one of those like non-screen tablets. It's like the cheapest thing. I think it was like a hand-me-down that like I got when I was like a teenager. And I just drew with that. Like, as long as you can get the tablets nowadays, from what I know, like the drawing tablets that don't have a screen, are quite a low price point to get into. And I think, if anything, that's the best way, is to just start drawing. Like, just get into it, just go kind of energy. And then you'll have a much better time, like, keeping up with it. For me, it's find something that you love. Honestly, you're lucky to have gotten a tablet back then. I used a mouse and keyboard for a couple of years until my friend gifted me a drawing tablet for Christmas. I was very lucky that someone I knew had bought a drawing tablet, like a super cheap drawing tablet at the time, and they just did not gel with it at all. They didn't enjoy it at all. So between sketchbooks, I clearly drew. So, like I said, I picked up a drawing tablet, like, because of that. I used it until it broke. And then in 2019, I want to say, in 2019, I started getting serious about art. I had drawn all my life, like, but not really learned drawing. It was more like I just drew for the sake of drawing, and that was it. I drew, like, I redrew like manga panels I enjoyed. I like drafted over My Little Pony models and stuff. It was a lot of tracing and a lot of like, I didn't really post it anywhere because it was traced stuff and it was just for me. But when I got my first sketchbook, I went wild. If anything, it's sketchbooking that really got me into art. I think, hold on. Let me look, actually. Hold on. I'm gonna go idle for a sec, my model. But I promise it's for a good reason. So, since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 7? No, that's 7. That's 8. That's 9. I'm on 10 now. So, sorry. I did, sorry. I went idle for a second. So, I've currently finished since 2020 9 sketchbooks. I'm on sketchbook number 10, and I have sketchbook 11. So the thing is I have sketchbook number 10, which is my big sketchbook. It's like a big square one, and it's for drawing at home. And then I have sketchbook 11, which goes in my bag, and that goes with me everywhere. So these sketches were done in sketchbook 11, because these are, like, all of that. As you draw, it's a skill you'll develop. Yes. Yeah. I agree. Drawing characters on your own comes with time, it comes with a lot of practice. I went to university for it. I did animation. That's why I learned how to read character silhouettes, read character languages. There's an entire, like, subdivision of art doing that. I'd say if you want to create characters, create something from the heart. Like, people are always like, oh my god, my first OC was so cringy. But if it gets you to draw and it is your guy, that's all that matters. Even if you pick someone from, like, a show that's pre-existing, if you draw them again and again and again and you love drawing them, you are constantly improving. There is... all you can do, and I say this all the time, all you can do is draw. And that is the most beautiful thing about drawing. I wouldn't say I'm, like, a good, like, the best artist TM. I would not even say I'm at that professional standard yet, because I'm not. For me, art has always been that outlet, and when I was doing animation, I was doing more production roles. It's just about being patient with yourself and learning and going from there. Yeah, it takes time and effort. That's basically it. So like I said, about this walk van design we're working on. I haven't warmed up today, which is probably gonna be my big issue. I like this pen because it's like, it reacts like a highlighter. And my favorite thing to do with art is grab random awful tier art supplies and use them in my sketchbook. Like, in front of me at all times, I have like a crammed full, like, Sailor Moon cup of random shitty highlighters, because I believe that if you can lower the tools to entry and just keep drawing no matter where you are, you will get there. Like, I'm a big sketchbooker, so levels of like blah 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 blah, you know. Happy affiliate anniversary. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. My current tablet is broken, which sucks, because it means I can't really prop it up properly without it feeling kind of weird. So, I haven't done digital in a little while, so if I'm looking down a lot and, like, being a little weird, it's because, I do a lot of sketchbooking, and that is how it goes sometimes. You have to endlessly use an artistic muscle in order to, like, keep it. So, I will just be warming up a little bit before we get into it. I think the nice thing about, blocky props and, like, having to create blockier props is that, you can always come back to squares with it. That's the nice thing about being able to work on stuff like this. It's like, wow, I don't have to worry about understanding perspective, because as long as I break it down to two squares and Minecraft essentially, that's fine. It works. It works. Thank you, Iris, for the lurk. Good luck. Good luck with work. Very, very, very sketchy. Woxa. Sorry. Yeah, this is, by the way, this is not gonna be a I'm a super skillful artist kind of stream. This is gonna be a I work at something until it breaks, or I break kind of stream. There we go. Okay. I think I get what I'm doing now. So, I wanted to, based on rounds of feedback I got, people really liked number 1, which is like this. This is the back of number 1. People really liked number 1 vibe. I had differing consensus on number 3, about taking potentially number 3 a little bit more forward, and I think 2 people liked number 4. So I think I'm gonna take 1 and 4 forward into development, and then if I feel like we're kind of, I send those 2 for feedback, and if I feel like that's a no-go or there's something not vibing with them, then we will absolutely just F it off, put it to the side. We'll try developing free a little bit. It's also like, with VISDEV, it is about like doing all of these like initial designs, taking some forward, doing those designs, getting feedback. I say this again and again, but animation is like a conversation, and being able to have that conversation is nice. I like having that conversation. It's a very fun conversation to be in the position of having. But yes, definitely. Tell about yourself and how and why you started streaming. Were you always interested in streaming? Are you a full-time streamer? So I have been streaming since I've been streaming, making content since, well, the oldest VOD I have of me streaming, like I have access to, is about 8, maybe 9 years ago. I've always been a faceless streamer. That's something that has never changed. I've always been in the faceless streamer club. Yes, I was always a streamer. I was always a content creator. I always enjoyed doing that kind of stuff. I don't know if I always wanted to be a streamer. I definitely always wanted to hang out with people that way, like get to know people's perspectives and really understand them as people. That's something I was really always interested in when it came to streaming. Because I think you're in such a blessed position when you're streaming to be able to speak with people, to be able to understand them, and I guess, yeah, have that conversation. I always felt very, very blessed from that kind of vibe. Hello, Stormy. How you doing? So yes, I've been greatly blessed in my life to be able to continue streaming. Definitely, for sure. That's more like that. What kind of shape? It's more rounded, I think. But I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. We can always edit it back down if it doesn't feel like it's serving, you know. But yeah, no, I've been streaming the thing. Been streaming a lot for a very long time. I would love to be a full-time streamer eventually. I mean, I kind of am giving it a go. I know that sounds kind of like, whoa, that's ambitious, but I am it's something I wanted to try for a very long time, and I mean, it's been about, well, I had to take a mild break for my health earlier in the year, so I want to say I've probably been consistently streaming since I don't know, maybe since like August, September. But yeah, no, I'm kind of vibey about it, I guess. Chill about it is the correct word, I suppose. I think if you want to be a full-time streamer, you should have some good connections to help out, and maybe collabs too. I've definitely done collabs. I'm not interested in making connections just for the sake of getting a boost, though. I'm not interested in doing that. I think I believe that if I'm good enough, it'll happen. And if it doesn't, then I wasn't good enough, and that's on me. And I think giving it my best go is all I really care about, honestly. I think if I've gotten to the point in my life where I start looking at things like transactional relationships, I don't know if that's authentic to the reasons why I wanted to start streaming, if that makes sense. I know that's, in a way, you could say, oh, that's very naive of you to say. And I agree. I'm not immune to that. In fact, I'm the least immune to that. I just also understand that I'm kind of like, yeah. Connections should be from people you consider friends. They would be those you collab with too, you know? So I struggle deeply making friends. It's something I very deeply struggle with. And I always have. Like, I'm very extroverted and I can talk to anyone when it comes to being Hayano. But maintaining those friendships is something I deeply, and I guess considering people as friends is something I deeply struggle with. And I find no shame in saying that. But it's not something I'm particularly interested in right now. I don't believe you have to make connections. I mean, I know you do in a way, but if I'm making connections, I want them to be as genuine as I possibly can have them be, you know? I don't know. It's hard. It's hard in being a VTuber to do that, to have the leisure to genuinely connect with someone. Yeah, that's all it is. I just struggle with that personally. I wouldn't say I'm cool either. I wouldn't say I'm cool either. I think I just don't really have the fear when it comes to doing the things I want to do. If I want to do it, I'll just do it. And I don't mind if it doesn't work out, because at least I tried, you know? At least I gave it a go, you know? That's all I care about. I think that's all that really matters to me as a person. I gave it a go. I tried. I understand that with my health, like, there's gonna be a lot of things that I don't really have the leisure to do, or the ability to do, you know? And I think it's the same way with friends and connections. I deeply have a lot of understanding that with, like, how tired I get and with how deeply I struggle with certain things, it's not gonna exactly always make sense for me to be able to manage friendships. You know, that's okay. I'm okay. Happy affiliate anniversary. Thank you, Davey. Thank you. And like I said, I've been incredibly blessed. I've had the most growth I've had in the past year, and that's been beautiful. I'm incredibly blessed. We've gone from, like, I think like 300-ish followers at the start of the year to like over 800. And that's insane. And I'm incredibly reverent and thankful for that. And that's it. That's me. I struggle to ask for more when I feel just very blessed to be where I am. Of course, that doesn't mean I won't try to integrate and to understand and to really bond with other people in the community. I guess I'll just figure it out, you know? As bad as that sounds. 830th. That's kind of crazy. That's insane to me. That's a lot of people, and that's a lot of trust. It's a lot of people who trusted me to show up as often as I can, to be here, to be their streamer. Also, I did hear about the 1,000 subs. That scares the ever-living crap out of me. That super scares the hell out of me, actually. Why have they done that? Why have they done that? That's terrifying. That's too much. I mean, I kind of understand why they've done it. It's just it's too much, right? Thank you for the follow, 19 DK. Okay, DK. I'm gonna say DK line, maybe. Is that correct? 19 DK line. I'm very blessed. You might say that sounds kind of cheesy or ridiculous, or like, oh, like she's clearly playing it up, but I don't know. I don't really have a response for that. I'm just here doing what I do. That's not the yellow. Maybe like this. This is the yellow. I'm trying to get the Walkman yellow. I think it's slightly more orange than I think it is. Is it slightly more orange? Close enough. Sorry, I'm pretty terrible with names. Sometimes I get it dead on, and sometimes I absolutely suck. You deserve it. You're totally cute and passionate about what you're streaming. I thank you. I appreciate that, Kella. You're always ever so supportive to me, and I'm very, very thankful. It's totally possible to get big from start streaming to make friends. The prime example is Mousy. Yeah, I mean, if I was blessed to make friends like that, then that would be cool. But for now, we go. And thank you for the follow, Dr. Hero. And then welcome in. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm gonna do this with like a dark line and then work from there. A lot of people, when they're doing prop work, will use, like, lasso tools. And I think that's probably the correct way to do stuff. Man, I truly do think that might be the correct way. Getting straight lines is a deeply scary thing. There we go. There we go. I'm kind of the broke mindset that if it ain't broke, why fuck with it, you know? If what I'm doing is working, then hell yeah. I'm incredibly blessed, and I should just really count my blessings and vibe with it. I do understand that could be a little bit frustrating, though. I'm not immune to the idea that that could be very frustrating for some people. Alright, so that's gonna be the window. That's not exactly halfway like I thought it was, so I'm gonna move that over slightly. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Oh god. Happy affiliate anniversary! Thank you, Sai. Welcome in. Playing some Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Well, I hope you're having a really good time, and I'm more than happy to be on the background accompanying you. Hi, have you seen the YouTube video of how a Bubble Girl became the #1 VTuber by Creative every day? I haven't, actually. Would you recommend it? Because I would totally be down to watch more videos about Iron Mouse. For me, drawing on my screenless table was most of the time Control-Z. I think everyone gets into using Control-Z. I don't think there's anything bad about that at all. It's very normal, I believe. I'm trying to do it less, however, I say spamming it like 6 times in a row. Yeah, I'm trying to do it less, but, you know. Line confidence is particularly hard on a PC. Having that line confidence, being part of that line confidence. Tablet, not table. Yeah, I got it. Brain go brr. It's easy. It's easy to happen. There we go. Yeah, no. That was not straight. Come on. Come on. There we go. No. That's not a good space for it either. That's a little... Yeah, okay. How about the... I should not be freeballing this half as much as I'm freeballing this. But you know. You live and you learn. But yes, thank you for the 5-stream streak. It's very nice to see people in and vibing and having a good time. And like I was incredibly anxious to do this kind of stream because I know it's very different to the stuff I usually do, and I kind of felt like it was very out of my niche. I'm a big fan of VTubers who do art. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of VTubers who do art. I have all the respect in the world for them. I've been watching a lot of Squeegee recently. But you know, there's coming to your fan base and saying, I want to do this on stream, and, you know, being like, hey, would that be okay for you to support me through this? That's, you know, a whole thing. For those solid outline, what brush are you using? Highlighter? Yeah, I'm just using a highlighter pen. I believe this is from Kyrie's Faves, which is from a course I did a while ago. But it's essentially just like a highlighter. I believe it's a edited calligraphy pen, maybe? Maybe? I have a lot of it might actually be a, yeah, it's definitely a square texture brush marker, actually. It's an edited square texture brush marker that's a little bit thicker and has the blending mode multiply on. So it's a square brush, and when you go over different lighter colors with it, so let's try with this blue. So this is one layer, and then if I were to go back over it, it gets darker. But if I were to draw like in the, I'm drawing this all in the same brush stroke, so that bit goes darker because it's overlaid, but this bit doesn't, like this. So it kind of mimics what an actual marker does. Ooh, did she die? What happened to her? Hold on, let me see what's wrong with her. Because it was meant to uwu, but it did not. It did not do the uwu. It should be. Should be fine. Let me try her real quick. Let me try her real quick. Let me have a look. Where is she? Chat has something to say. Uwu.
UWU.
There she is. Do you also make animation? So yes, I have done animation. Yes, I have done animation in the past. I've dabbled in 2D animation. I've dabbled in 3D animation. I do enjoy animating, don't get me wrong. It's just, I prefer being on the visual development side, so like, designing props, doing stuff like this, it's very cool to me, personally. That's my personal enjoyment. That's that there. Yes, so I had like a switch here, and then the port I had here, but I'm gonna move it a little over from here because, just because if it's here, it feels like it's gonna clash with this side, and just based on how jacks work, if you're trying to plug a jack into like a curved surface, that's not gonna work, so it's gonna need to more be like here. And because it's like we're viewing the circle on its side, it's gonna be kind of like squished. And not totally so for this button, I think this is gonna be like the eject button, basically, that's like a switch, essentially. So like that. You know, one of those like you know those old tech kinda, they used to have that a PSP. I don't know if I have one. I have one over here somewhere. Where's my PSP? There it is. So a PSP on the top had
Shiny.
a PSP on the top had the little switch that you would click slide it to open, and it would pop the back open. And Mega Hayano again. Yeah, it's because I leant forward. I leant forward. The back of a PSP has one of these open switches, and it like doesn't actually stay open. It like prongs back when you open it. And I have a feeling that the cassette tape would work in a similar way. Well, ejecting the cassette would work in a similar way. So. Oh, you leant forward? Why did you give up? No, I had to grab my PSP because I wanted to check I was remembering it correctly. I wanted to check that I was remembering how the Switch worked correctly on old tech. And the closest thing I had was the PSP. UMD discs? Yes, but like similar to how the UMD discs would pop out, I imagine that's how cassettes used to pop out of Walkmans. I don't have a physical Walkman to hold and kind of like feel with my... Like, reference in art is really important. I prefer having the thing to hold in my hands, but if I can't get the thing to hold, then I'll get something that works kind of similarly with how it ejects something. Walkman had buttons to open similar to a boombox. They did. I am aware of this. However, I figured because he is... the design we're looking at is a spaceman design. Even if I make the buttons big like this, so these here are meant to be the big chunky buttons, right? And they're meant to be like that so that he can easily press on them. The reason I'm putting the Switch at the bottom and making it smaller than necessarily anything else is because with these types of buttons, you can press the thumb of your pad against it, like your thumb pad against it, and just like push and it'll clip open. But the issue is if I put the eject button at the top, there's always the chance that he's going to accidentally like press on it while he's pressing another button. So that's why I'm adding a switch like the PSP one at the bottom of the Walkman, so that it's been like in some way adapted so you're not accidentally ejecting your cassette in space. Because I imagine, again, like we had this conversation, the outer shell is the thing that's like protecting the cassette from like space, quote unquote. And I feel like that makes more sense than the eject button being at the top where he could possibly brush against it or like click it on like you would on a normal Walkman, which would expose the internalized cassette and potentially break it. So that's why I've done it that way rather than because like I said, what they didn't want a traditional Walkman. They wanted one that felt like it had been adapted in some way. And I feel like that's a really nice adaptation that you could reasonably make. I hope that makes sense. I hope that is a reasonable adaptation. I don't really know. I'm just doing the thing that I do best, which is taking a prompt and going, well, technically, yeah, okay. That could work if you wanted it to work that way. I think the big thing about being a prop designer for stuff like this is you're essentially hired to solve problems. And, like, it doesn't have to be, like, the most perfect solution for it, you know? But But it does have to be one that kind of makes sense. Because if you're not at least gonna, like, attempt to make a solution to the problem, then you get that issue where it doesn't feel as well thought out in some ways. And, like, viewers feel that. Viewers can really feel, like, if something doesn't really feel like it's been, like, thought out. Like, I still don't know if I necessarily want the input here. And with that reasoning, I say the Switch should protrude a bit more. Yes, that does make sense. That does make sense. So another thing that I'm kind of struggling with is if I want this here or if I want this here, because essentially with the kind of belt scenario, it's going to be clipped on and it's going to be like this way up, like rotated this way. And do you want the headphone coming out like this? And I was like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. I should do this. But then I thought, well, what if it goes under and then it tucks like under the belt? So that then you're not like gonna accidentally brush it and like slam it out that way if you reacted to something and then it like pushed outwards. I was thinking like it would make more sense to be folded underneath the belt itself. So you'd have the belt, the clip on the belt, which then makes the cassette like that, and then you'd have the wire go up and like under the belt, like this. The image of my Walkman flying away from me, his face is so vivid and sad. Yeah. So I think you could probably avoid that if you layered it like this. Rather than it being like this. Because if there's anything that I've learned when talking to people about these things, is that the clip on the back fucking sucked. Oh, it's an ad break in 3 seconds. Sorry. It's ads. We will be back shortly for when ads break. Don't worry, you will not miss anything. Ads. hello! Imagine forgetting to unmute. Sorry, I went to get a slice of cheese. Hello. So. We are going to... I rage quit the game. Oh no, I'm sorry. Are Dragon Ball games, like, difficult? Or are they just, like, kind of annoying? Never does, homie. A minute without Hayano is a minute without light. Don't be dramatic. Don't be so dramatic. Okay. Now that we are back, it does at the final phase and no choke points. Ugh. Ugh. That's awful. I mean, okay, people who like a challenge, be quiet. I'm a baby in this house, okay? I enjoy my support. So, the drama is so much fun. I suppose. So, the thing we're gonna do now is, this is the first, like, line pass. Now, I'm about to do something that most artists realize and do naturally, and they don't have to think about this. However, I am, again, we had this conversation, a silly guy. And I need to understand how this works. Okay? So, in my mind, right, I have to reasonably think, is this a design that works? Is this a design that makes sense? And the thing that we have to ask when we're doing that is, could I reasonably use this prop and it makes sense? You give off short energy. Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. Short, tall, whatever the hell. I've learned to appreciate just that I give off an energy. Thank you for the headbats as well. So, a big thing I want to consider right now is this a usable piece of tech? Now, I'm a little bit concerned with the buttons. Because I was going to have it, and I'm doing it in red lines for the sake of, we'll get rid of that. I'm doing it in red lines for the sake of, we're talking about how it works, right? So, like, does this open along here? Because right now, this doesn't open, is the big issue. And we have the button for opening it, but not the seam line where it opens. And because this is going to be a usable prop, it needs to make sense. So, if we put this seam line here, like here, there we go. What does this mean for the rest of the design? Number one, this is too far up. These need to come down. So, front panel needs to come down. To be lower. So that's one thing, right? Because this, right, cannot open this way, like up and up this way to get the Walkman out, because there's these buttons here, and these buttons need to be like linked up to something that makes them like do the thing that needs to. Listen, there will be some disconnect because I don't understand how everything works. But I do know that button needs to have connection. Button needs to have connection. First half, yes, but the current backline would be the seam. Yes. Yeah. So I'm thinking this bit comes down. Oh, you mean like you think this is the seam? Well, the issue with that is if this bit is the seam, is then a lot of seams are kind of going back to the PSP again. A lot of seams are like the actual openings have like an extra curve, and that's so it's like more secure, because otherwise you need clips either side. And while there's gonna be some level of a locking mechanism, a lot of tech like this, I can't explain why. But this. No, the U-shaped one above it. This one? So this one cannot be the seam, because then, if, let's say the cassette is laying here, the cassette is too big. And therefore, when it popped out of that bit, this bit of the cassette would get stuck on this bit of plastic. Do you see what I mean? So that's not usable either. Dang, you're right. Yeah, you really have to, like, a lot of artists can do this part naturally, and they do not struggle with it at all. I have to kind of, like, turn things around in my head and see if it makes sense. So like I said, it can't open from this direction because the buttons are here, so it has to open from this direction, which means there has to be an extra seam line here, which means these bits need to come down. I'm one of those people who, when they make art, they get so scared to share it since I always think my art is bad. I have low self-confidence. Imposter syndrome is a real thing when it comes to art. It really is. Being able to share your art and talk about your art in a critical eye is something that you develop over time, and exposing yourself to your art to other people. Like, being able to accept critique, being able to identify and sort through critique is something, like with that conversation we just had. Reasonably, thinking the U could be where it opened up makes sense. But when you think about it, it's like, yeah. It's like thinking about, like, you have to really think things through and, like, have those conversations. Especially on, like, things like this, where it's going to be used for animation. It's going to be used in an animated sequence. It doesn't have to make perfect sense, but it has to make some layer of sense. If that in itself makes sense. So we have two options here, right? We can either go with the seam line being here, or we can make this part open up and the cassette slide in. Now the issue with that is that cassettes typically, when they open up, hold on, let me see if I can find a reference of an open one, but typically, when a cassette opens up like this, right, a cassette player, they have these two little nubbins that the cassette slots and presses into, because that's the thing that turns the little cassette wheels. Yes, very specific. I know. I'm a genius. But this is how it tends to work. So we can't have a slide motion unless we are also redesigning the actual cassette tapes. And because I think a big part of this animation relies on giving the vibe of someone, like, pressing in and closing a cassette, like a cassette into this Walkman to make it kind of, like, seem like, oh, this person has potentially modified this thing for space, but they still want to keep it authentic to how cassettes work, I think it's really important to have that vibe. Also, what if the entire bottom slid open at the U-seam? You could reasonably have it so that the bottom slides out. The issue is, again, is that you can't, this bit isn't open, and cassettes you have to press downwards and in, because like I said, we were talking about those like little nubbins. So this bit here would also have to retract and pull back like a slide. So it would have to be like a 2-part kind of scenario where this top bit slid off and then this bit clipped up and back, and then you could pop the cassette in, which we could totally do, but again, that's like a very complicated animated sequence, when realistically, for a short film budget, if we were talking like a big film budget, I would love doing something like that, where like the top slides upwards and then like flicked up. It's not very user friendly, and it's more obvious to like have the regular kind of clip up. However, I do love that as an idea, and if I was making futuristic tech, that is something I'd absolutely consider, not because of the user friendly, but because that would add a extra layer of protection for the cassette. Because I think the issue with these Walkmans is they used to like kind of vibrate a lot, like up and down, and that wear and tear while someone was moving would have wear and tear on the cassette. And obviously in space, the extra reinforcement of this bit sliding off and this bit sliding open would be incredible. Like, that would make sure it's like really pressed in, because you're clipping it in once and then you're literally sliding something over top. So I think from a perspective of like something that's really like safe to use, I think I'd love that. But from a point of view of this is a low budget animation, I think we just have to go with the clip. And that's what I mean by prop design and visual development being like, it's a dialogue, right? It's a dialogue of, you have to consider what you have to work with for budget, you have to consider what you have to work for like with making it reasonable versus making it something that's going to communicate that. And I think in animation, communication is the most important thing. If it was like a full short dedicated to it, would be amazing. But you know. Kirk's opened a monster, indeed. I also have a monster Mango Loco right now. You may think it's late. However, I am working, so it doesn't exactly matter how late it is. Hello. I love bringing analog mechanical tech to modern tech. Makes me happy. I legit have my Xbox hooked up to a CRT box TV. I respect the hell out of it. I love collecting old tech. So when I had the opportunity to work on this short film, I was very, very, very excited. Killer, thank you for redeeming your point taxes. They definitely go back into the community and not into my pocket while no one's looking. And I will hydrate. I will hydrate with Mango Loco. Mango Loco is peak. Only monsters I still drink are Mango Loco and Irish Cream Java. Mango Loco is an absolute favorite in this particular community, and I appreciate that. I think, was it Killer? I'm pretty sure it was Killer that did that redid their tier list for the new monster editions, and it still came out with Mango Loco on top. I don't know. Am I right in that? My Discord's being awkward. But yeah, thank you for the hydrate. I did hydrate. I have hydrated with Mango Loco, and it definitely he. I have Monarch, and I finished the purple mixed one. Ooh, what did you think of the purple mixed one? Monarch is good. Mango in general is great. Yum. Dev have other fruit preferences, but I will never complain about a fresh mango. You are so real. That's so real. I'm glad I made this chunkier then. What is this button? What is this that I did? What is this? What is this? This makes no sense. What did I do here? What was this supposed to be? I guess like a bit of texture, so it broke it up slightly. Let me look. What do they have? What do they have? What do I not have? What do I not have that a Walkman has? Because a Walkman has like a heck ton of absolute shenanigans. See, I was looking at another piece of art that someone did. I think it was Iwai's Zhang. And Iwai Zhang did a fantastic Walkman that's like really kind of like it looks like really old like 90s tech, and it looks like really fucking cool. But my issue with it is that they had it so that the button part opened up, and I did not understand it at all. I did not understand how that worked. And they had it so that the headphones like were compacted. But then I was like, realistically, they probably aren't thinking of this from like a feasible standpoint. They're probably looking at this at like it looks cool. Rule of cool does a lot. I guess they did have the A and B headphone slots, didn't they? Sorry, I'm looking at Walkman now. However, I do believe that we just wanted the 1.3mm jack. Sorry, the singular 3mm jack. Now Pineapple however, Pineapple is good. Yes, I updated my tier list last night. My top 3 is Mango Loco, Monarch, and Ripper. I need to update it because of a Monster Juice Rio Punch, Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red, and Zero Sugar Lanos Norris Melon Yuzu, and Juiced Bad Apple. Juiced Bad Apple is incredible. It's one of my favorites. Probably second to Mango Loco, but it's like a hard competitor for me, personally. I haven't tried the Juiced Rio Punch or the Melon Yuzu. But I had tried Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red, and Ruby Red fucks. Ruby Red's great. It's pretty cheap as well. For some reason, it's like kind of cheaper at my shop than it is like the other like zero sugar ones. And I need to get better at drinking the zero sugar ones rather than the sugar ones, because girl needs to watch her health. Girl needs to be a better human being. Most of the juiced cans here are 175. Yeah, that's about it. 175, or I've had a couple of juiced ones go up to like £2 or £2.05, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right to me. But you know, what can you do? Meanwhile, it's like £4 here. That's insane. Tell you what, some of the bigger stores, I don't really go to them a lot, but some of the bigger stores sell them for the juiced ones for £2.45, and the cheap, the ultra ones from £1.75. And I'm like, this feels like daylight robbery. I really like the reserved line, like the reserved pineapple and watermelon. I haven't tried any of the reserve line. I want to so badly. So dearly. Also, sorry. I do want to say, I'm really sorry if, like, this isn't super interesting, like, the me yapping about, like, these notes and whatnot. I'm really sorry if that's, like, super not fucking interesting. I apologize verily if that is the case. Wow, that's an interesting thing. So, like, okay, sorry, here's something else I don't understand. What do you mean not interesting? It's something you're passionate about. That makes it interesting. I hope that is the case. I truly do. Can I ask a really stupid question? Can I ask a really stupid question that's I cannot remember for the life of me? Did they not have volume sliders? I don't think they did, because I don't think you could change the volume of cassettes, but there's something in the back of my brain that's like screaming that I'm fucking that up, and you absolutely could turn them down. I don't think you could. I don't remember being able to. But I feel like I need to check for the sake. Because I remember some having a wheel. Yeah, like a wheel. Yeah. Some did. But like on the ones I'm looking at, like I think I'm looking at the classic Walkman, which is why I'm struggling. Because I was like looking at it, I was like, but in a suit, in a spacesuit, are you reasonably gonna... Yes, the original cassette Walkman models featured a volume slider. I cannot find it on this reference image that I'm looking at. To be fair, it's a one-angle reference image. It's incredibly hard to find references of these things. It's stupidly hard. I'm like, please, can someone just take a load of pictures of them from every fucking angle, please? God damn. Okay. Alright. I don't know if it makes sense to have a volume slider on it. I don't know if it makes sense. Let me see if I can find my old one. If you can, that would be incredibly amazing. But if you can't, absolutely no pressure. How would I make it so it's easy for a spaceman to turn his sound down? Because like a fiddly knob isn't gonna work. A fiddly knob is absolutely not going to work. That's not gonna do anything, really. It's not really gonna do anything. I think what I was thinking with this point, because we had this conversation that I couldn't figure out what I was thinking. I was thinking this was gonna be like one of those like sensors. You know what I mean? Where you like wave your hand underneath it, like one direction or the other. And if you waved it this way, it would like go up in volume. And if you waved it this way, it would go like down in volume. However, does this matter? Is there ever going to be a scene where he turns the volume down and it isn't just atmospheric? You know what? I think this is a director question. I think this is a director question. For an astronaut, I'd say it would be buttons placed away from the others. Maybe like here then. Like here. Like a button here and a button here, like up and down. That probably makes sense. Like one that's like this and one that's like that. Yeah, that's probably it. That solves the question of should the audio jack be here or here then, because it needs to be on the bottom then, because the volume sliders need to be next to each other. Got it. Okay. Right. It matters. Okay, that was like me trying to think. What are you drawing, Haya? I'm doing visual development for a spaceman short where I have to consider how a Walkman works. You have to consider how a Walkman works real quick. So I think we want to add volume buttons. Add vol butts. And then that we've said that needs adjusting. We're gonna add the vol butts. We're gonna add the casing. Add case opening. And, yeah. We need to fiddle with the front panel. Okay, that makes sense. Also, can confirm my Walkman is not in my retro tech drawer. Big sad. I don't know where it is then. Probably packed away somewhere. I'm sorry. But hey, at least you know. At least you know now before you went inevitably, like, looking for it and being like, where the hell is it? Alright. But yes, I'm working on a Spaceman short. Well, I'm helping out with it. It's not really like... It's me doing my job, but in like a super low-key way. A super low-key, like, very, very chill way. Okay, there we go. There we go. So that's where the opening is. That needs to come like the, and like the, and then like the, okay. That's a little too far up, needs to be a little bit down, nope, still. This is the issue. It needs to be like here. There we go, okay. This doesn't have to be, like, perfect, because this is just a draft, but it is a draft that I'm gonna be sending for feedback, so I don't want it to be awful. Hey, hi, Elizabeth, hello! Thank you for redeeming your point taxes. Welcome in. They will definitely go back to the community and not into my pocket when no one is looking. Right, this needs to go. I don't know what this is, and if I don't have a use case for it, it's just adding extra things for the modelers. So that needs to go. And then this kind of needs to jut out and probably be just like a touch bigger. So like that. It needs to come down a little bit. It also can't be that close to the edge either because it's a switch and it needs to be like kind of more like centered, like here. There we go. Flag deselect. Okay. And then with this one, we're gonna make it a little bit more spherical. And we're gonna bring it maybe like next to, no, not next to, that's a bad idea. That's how you get something unfortunate happening. And then let's do this. There we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, no, that didn't work. I was gonna cross-hatch it. Ugh, my cross-hatching. I hate. I'm so bad at cross-hatching. It requires confidence it requires line confidence I do not have. Okay. Right, so that's the opening. That can, like, go, like, upwards slightly to, like, indicate a slant of a hinge. There we go. Are you gonna give it a custom paint design, or is it gonna be regular? So it's going to be, it's gonna be, I'm gonna give several, so, okay. How VISDEV object works is you have to submit multiple versions. So you have to submit multiple color versions. Now this movie is black and white. However, it's really important for me to still do color versions because then I can do the color versions and see which versions look better in terms of values when black and white. So, that's the deal with that. So I'm going to do several color versions. I'm going to convert them into black and white and see which color, quote unquote, which values look better. Now, the smarter way to do that would be to just make them black and white and just do the values that way. However, I want this to be a portfolio piece, so I'm also going to do color versions because I want the color versions for my portfolio because they really like seeing that you can do color and not just values. So that's why I'm doing that. Typically, you just let it ride and just do whatever, like just do the black and white and do the values first. That's what value painting is. What are values? Oh, good question. Good question. I'm gonna hold on. Right. So values are, say you had a face. Let's, oh god. Say you had a face. Had a face, and like, here's the face. Here's the face. Hello. Terrible, terrible face. Terrible face, but still a face nonetheless. Ugh. Okay, right. So. There we go. Ugh. Ugh. There we go. There we go. There's your face. So, values are, before you do a pass, like a color-based pass, you would do your values, so they're like various levels of grays. So like this, and these different grays, you do them in, like I said, you do them in gray. And, so, values is like a bar, and the bar is from light gray to dark gray. And it goes all the way from like white to black, essentially. And the reason we do our values is because values basically limit your color palette. And say we had a situation where light was coming from over here, doing the planes of the face, like the nose and taking account for the lips and whatnot, that converting it into just simple black and white makes it so much easier to understand where the light should be and how it should be interacting with the object itself. So here we have the light tone, which is the light gray, we have the middle tone, and then we have the darker tone, which we'll say is this. Now, for those who are less familiar with art, that this is like highlights, middle base colors, and then darks. Now, like I said, we do this with the grays so that you can get a really good idea about how the light works. But the thing is that you need to get various level with grays, because you need to... Light doesn't really technically work like this, because light is more about like bounce light. So like there's, or in the darkest bit of the shadow, there is some of that bounce light. And then in the... Some people do it that like in between this and this, there's like a darker bit. So it's replacing the original colors with different shades of grey to make it easier. Kind of, it's more about being able to process the lighting in an easier way. So another way you might see it done is like a circle. So like you might see someone draw a circle and then they're like, shade the circle, and you do it by like hold on. Let me select it. So, like, you'd go darker. Get the airbrush real quick. You go like darker. It's also like the placement of it, basically. It's not just the shades themselves. It's exactly where the stuff is like placed. Like, rather than like you just being like, oh, light's coming from this direction, let's just do all of this. It's about understanding how a sphere works in 3D. So it's like the values not only help you simplify the colors out, but it also helps you define the shape itself. So like we said with this, I'd do like a kind of gradient pass where like we'd be like darkening it around. So it's about carving out shapes as well as making it more simple. So like we said, there'd be a little bit of like, and I'd probably make this smaller, there'd be a little bit of like bounce light, and that bounce light would have to be curved because it's not, like I said, it's not just about communicating where the lighting is, but how the lighting affects the very object you're looking at. Because lighting doesn't just exist in a vacuum. You can also do like values and stuff, because some people will do what's called gradient maps on top. I'm pretty awful with gradient maps, I'm not gonna lie to you. But you can work and do gradient maps on top. So like, create gradient layer. Boom, gradient map. In a very simplistic way. Another thing you can do is like, do layer modes with it then. So then, boom. Voila! Gradient maps are way more complicated than that. If you're interested in learning them, look up an actual tutorial. They're really, really complicated. Well, they're not really complicated, but they are like way more complicated than that. More complicated than layer modes and whatever the hell. But it's about how you like doing your gradient maps, really. But no. So some people, some people paint all their values in using grayscale first. Let me type that out for you. There you go. But yes, so this is like a super simplified version of that. But this, knowing your values and knowing how it affects different shapes and knowing like either the planes of the face or knowing like with like, because this very clearly this is quite a smooth object that I've created here. But if you wanted to like say, sorry, let me also talk about this because this is semi-important. Say we go back to this plain circle. Say you didn't want to use the what you didn't want to do was like you didn't want to you don't want it to be like a smooth object like I just rendered. You can also use values to create like not smooth objects. So like if we're talking about like fur, you'd probably be like, let's sorry, I'm not particularly great at rendering fur, but let's do it. You'd do like you'd match the shape contour, and then you'd pick this, and then you'd like take little edges out of it, like that. Like to make it look kind of fluffier. Like that.
And then you take a lighter color, and then you do the same with like the lighter color, where it's like it's got to be round because it's obviously a spherical, but you can like go over and do stuff like that with it. So like being able to not only communicate the color, also communicate the texture that you're working with. Like so. Obviously, very bad example because I'm rushing the hell out of this because I'm trying to say it for realism's sake. And then you could go through and you could like, we take that and then we take these like, and we take this and we do this, and we take this and we do like this, and we'd like, again, go in. Like, go in like here, maybe. Probably more like here, we're looking at the center, like here. So, a little bit like that. And then of course, because there's always a little bit of bounce light in it, we'd, rather than like doing what we did before, we'd do more like this kind of motion. Like that, to make it look more like fluff, basically. Then obviously, because it's not an actual circle at that point, you kind of take it out into here. There you go. Like that, basically. That's a green perf! Yeah. Obviously, you'd have to spend more time, like, reasonably, like, rendering this and stuff, but that's how we can, like, not only communicate, not just communicate the texture. Sorry, not just communicate the lighting, but also communicate the texture. Because, like, this would be a little bit darker here, like this. And that's how you basically, like, kind of build up. But yeah, you kind of just build up that shape over and over and over again. Like I said, not a great example, but, you know. You just keep working at that and working at that and working at that till you've got, like, a really good, like, texture. And if you zoom out, yeah, it kind of looks like what you want it to. You could just post this saying it's a cat loaf and people would believe it wholeheartedly. If you gave that a light brown base scale, it would look like pastry. Or maybe I'm just hungry. Perhaps. Like, hold on. I don't think... I'm terrible at gradient maps. That's something I do need to get better at. Color burn. Probably not that one. Like that. I do gradient maps in a really weird way. I'm very sorry. I understand that this is a very strange way to do gradient maps. I'm not immune to it. There you go. Whee! There we go. And that's how you change it from something like that to like something like, you know, that. Obviously all art looks better zoomed out, so that's why I zoom it out. Looks like a fantasy dragon egg? Hell yeah. But no, that's kind of why values are so fundamental. Because like I said, you're not just communicating where the light is, you're communicating how the light affects the object itself. And that,
Some you are Master Aya.
I'm really not a master. I just know. I know a lot of the theory. I do know a lot of the theory to be able to be like, here's how it works. I don't always totally implement it myself. Thank you, Poppy. Thank you for the happy affiliate anniversary. My cat keeps running up, nibbling my toe, and then running away. Yeah. Cats be like that, unfortunately. But yeah, there you go. There's that. But yeah, I hope that makes kind of sense. And it's why, back on the orb again. Let's look at the orb again. Ooh, orb. When you are creating packs for 3D, when you're creating packs for 3D, when you're creating prop design for 3D, it is super, super important that you make these orbs for your 3D artist, for your 3D modeler, because then they can literally, when they're UV mapping and they're like adding the textures, they can literally use the guide you have made them. So that's how you get like 2D pieces. That's how you get 3D pieces to look super, super, super 2D. Because you are literally providing them with a step-by-step guide that has the colors on or has the texture on, so that then they can literally just copy that in and copy that into their like texture maps. So that's also a thing that you as a VISDEV artist, if you're interested in VISDEV art, obviously, you as a VISDEV artist should be providing to your 3D. It's called packeting, and it's kind of specific skill set from doing VISDEV for specifically 3D art. But that's how that works. You have to do packeting for them. Is she saying my feet stink? Nah, she's just been a playful little gal. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. There's a fantastic artist who I think's very good and very underrated. Let me see if I can. I follow a lot of artists on YouTube. Let me have a look. They did a fantastic short about it that covers it far more succinctly than I can. Yes, hello. You, come here. Hello. There we go. If you're interested in that, it's a super quick short, and it says what a good prop designer does. This is like a professional, by the way. They're incredible at their work. Oh my god. I think their artwork is fucking divine. They talk about how you're supposed to provide 3D turnarounds, how you're supposed to provide things in different like layers, how you're supposed to geometrically break down the shapes, the main shape at least, so like your artist knows to like what to start with and where to go with. How like you need to provide like how stuff looks for animation, things that are pressable, things that keep logos on different like layers, so that you're like in a different file completely. You can put it all together for a showcase, but keeping the stickers or logos in a completely separate file and also giving that to your 3D artist literally just allows them to add your 3D artist. Just allow your 3D art to be like completely immediately added. This is like the guide, the royal fucking level of 3D prop design. Even like 2D prop design, like stuff like this is not as needed in 2D prop design depending on the art style, I will say. I've definitely phoned in some prop design in like my years at university where I was fucking cramming as much physical work in as I could. It's great. Nico's absolutely fucking amazing. Thank you for the pet. Thank you. One more before the ads. Yes, I will hydrate. Thank you. But I hope that makes sense. I hope that helped. Like I said, I am nowhere near professional. I just pride myself in being able to think. Pride myself in being able to think a little bit. But yes, we need to add the volume buttons. That's something we need to do. Let's get the guidelines back. Bring the guidelines back. Bring them back. This might be a little bit. Okay. Let's see. See what we can do about this. No. I want them to kind of not be that close and not be that thick. Not be that close and not be that thick. And then, because we're making them a little bit jut out.
I have adopted you as my master from now on. Your wisdom is great.
What's more before the ad? Yeah. You're making money through your art, right? I'm making money through my art. Right? I don't get a lot of work. I'm in love with you. I don't get a lot of work. I do not get a lot of work. I'm still very junior. The industry's been in a bit of a mess, but it's also I don't have the greatest portfolio. Like I said, a lot of my talents come from I guess being able to teach people, and also A, being able to teach people, and B, being just aware of how stuff works. That's why I said I do a lot of production role stuff, because I'm better at talking people through things and like having those conversations than I am actually creating the art. I would love to be in like an animator position where like I'm the actual artist, and dude, I would love to have VISDEV credits on other stuff. But like I said, in terms of me being like a master TM, again, I don't know if I'd necessarily go that far. I'm glad I can help, don't get me wrong. I'm all about like I'm all about absolutely like sharing my knowledge, and like I don't believe there's anything to be lost by having more people in the industry. I think being able to do art is a very beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful job to have, and it's a very competitive sphere, of course, but I'd never like gatekeep any of the information because there's no point. The more artists we have, the just better it will be. If I ever need someone to help with animation, I'll hire you. Oh, that's very sweet. You're very sweet. You're very, very, very sweet. Like I said, I'm more than happy. I would have loved to do like a teaching thing. I was actually considering going back to my university and teaching. But I didn't really, unfortunately, because I wasn't really a part of any like real big things. It just never really came up as an option. I would have loved to. Don't get me wrong. Alas. That's just how it goes, honestly. You don't always get to do the things you want to do. It's about being aware of that and not giving up. That probably needs a bit of editing, but it's okay. It's okay, we'll vibe. There we go. No, more like that. Oh, follow that pattern. Okay. And then like this, follow that pattern. Here we go. That to that to that. I do hope to be able to maybe eventually be in the animation industry. Dang ads, indeed. Oh my god, ads! Don't worry, we're on BRB.
Hello, 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 hello. I ran back just in time. I have an issue. I have such a big issue. I will continuously eat cheese. Every time I take a break, I continuously eat cheese. And I've had like a block of cheese every single time. Every single time I come back, I go on break, I like go and run and get a piece of cheese, and I eat the cheese, and I'm like, oh, I need to stop doing that. Hi Mocha! Thank you for the well wishes on my affiliate anniversary. We've been affiliate for 5 years. Lame. I'd be toilet banned after 1. They're just little chunks. I'll pay for it later. They're just little chunks. Cheese is so good. What's your favorite cheese? Red Leicester. I know before I went on ad break, someone, Stomy said, have you thought about offering teaching for your streams? I don't know. I don't know. I guess, maybe, but at the same time, I don't think I'm necessarily a professional, so I don't think I'm qualified to teach? I don't really know if I'm qualified to teach, necessarily, but I do take that as a dear compliment. I do in fact take that as a dear compliment. We're both such Twitch boomers. Yes, absolutely we are Twitch boomers. It's okay. We have a community of Twitch boomers to share in. Hell yeah. But make that a little bit thicker, because that doesn't make sense. Oh, I made a fuck up. Okay. It's fine. Nothing a little relining can't fix. And like I said, this is just a problem solver. It's just a load of problem solving before we go and we start rendering stuff, so it's okay. There can be mistakes. The lactose. I don't know if I read the lactose girly eating cheese, but that still makes me giggle. Because yes, the person who is weak to lactose eats cheese. Truly, I am a dumbass. There we go. Actually, I can get rid of that. Okay. Don't like that. Don't like that. Don't like that. Okay. My original account got hacked and deleted. It feels so wrong to have an account made in 2023. Miss Hayano, the TTS is broken. I can't do anything if TTS is broken. It's just broken. If it's not working, there's something wrong with it. And I do not know what it is. I do not know what it is. May I have a refund, please? Yes. Hold on. How do I do that? Oh, how do I do that again? Activity feed. Reward request queue. There it is. There we go. Oh god. Oh wow, I've not done this in a while. Where is it? Beep, 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 beep. Hold on, chat has something to say. It says it has 0 requests. It literally, that might be a Twitch end issue. I'm sorry. That might be a Twitch end issue because it's saying that there's no requests for it. What the fuck? It's okay. I'll find like the last time. Hold on. surely you have in the last month maybe redeemed. Yes, you have. You have redeemed, so you have been refunded. You have now been refunded. There you go. You have to have mod view open when the request goes through, I think. No, I have a reward request queue, and it has like all of the rewards from like the last like 23 days. So I don't know. But yes, you should have 200 points back. There you go. There we go. I figured out how to do it. I could do something so funny actually right now. Maybe Twitch might eat my ass if I do this. You know what? Let's see if that did anything. I don't know why I did that. That was a fool's errand, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe taxes just went back. Maybe chat taxes just went back. What did you do? Refund the list? Yeah. Taxes just went back. So if you had any issues this stream, we'll see. We'll see if you had any issues this stream. Point taxes have been paid. Thank you, Killa, for paying your point taxes. They will go back into the community and definitely not into my pocket to eat when no one's looking. Your tax rebate just went back. She's still broken. Why is she broken? Why is she broken? What's wrong with her? Hold on. Let me find out. Because she was working earlier. She was literally working earlier. I think it's time to waterboard higher. No, it's not. Oh wow, I just got like 2.2k points back. Chat rebate! Yay! I actually figured out how to do chat rebate. I broke her with... Okay, hold on. Let me have a look. Let me see if I can fix her. I can fix her. I only got 200. Sadness. Oh god, why am I getting waterboarded? Stop it! No! I'm trying to fix the woman! Don't use your taxes like this! Don't use your taxes like this. Right, sorry. Hold on. Point taxes. There we go. There we go. It's rebate time. Rebate time! You have been rebated. You have been rebated. It's rebate time! Hopefully you've been rebated. We'll see. Maybe you've been rebated. There we go. We'll see. We'll see if that worked. Also, I need to fix back to channel. Point tax rebates. Over 200. I'm rich. Excellent. Wonderful. Another 1.5k. What? That's how many times you've redeemed point taxes. that's your tax rebate. That is a tax rebate. Where is sounds? Where on earth? What was the other one for? TTS? Yeah, I think I just refunded. No, I think I refunded. I don't know what I refunded. I refunded something. The tax rebates have gone out. If you do point taxes a lot, you should have your taxes back now. Remember, I do that like once every month. If I remember. There we go. Stream summary. No. What? Where are you? Where is the TTS lady? Where's the TTS lady? Where's the TTS lady? Where STD. Sandalets. Activate. Set as overlay. Set as component 1. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Activate. Add as new panel. Okay. Cool. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Back to Twitch. Create a dashboard. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know! Maybe it works. So you're saying point taxes is a bank? Yeah. I need to do all of those hydrates in a second. And I'm not happy about it, Killer. Also, what program are you using for this drawing? Clip Paint Studio. Clip Paint Studio. Hi. Ooh, I have so many hydrates to do. Hold on, I'll do them in just a second. Just a minute. Just a minute. You will wait a minute. You will wait a minute. We'll wait a minute. We'll wait a minute for me to do this. Hold on. Let's have a look. Chat something to say. Speak! Speak, child. Now, why aren't you working? That's awesome. Let me see. Have you checked the extension? Yeah, I just checked it. Well.
Pollo.
There we go! She's working again! Woohoo! Oh. It wasn't to me. Sorry, I was looking. Alright, Killer. Now you are significantly, you can waterboard me. Thank you, Killer, for the hydrate. Not quite as complete. Thank you, Busy Killer, for the hydrate. Thank you, Killer, for the third fucking hydrate. And I'm doing this with water, not Monster. Fuck you. And thank you for the fourth hydrate. I am not killing myself. Hydrate.
Pollo, 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 lézard, 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 lézard.
Yes. Play a lizard. Okay. We did it. Congratulations. We might now return to the original job. I'm gonna do something that's been bothering me, and I think that the cassette window would be lower than that because that doesn't really make sense to me. Wait, or does it? I need to look at the image of a cassette. You know what? It does favor one side. That's fine. It does favor one side. Lizard. Lizard, 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 lizard. However, we are gonna fix this bit. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Wrong friggin' thing. There we go. Select. Deselect. Now we ride at dawn. I don't know what's wrong with me. Chat! I'm losing my marbles again. Chat! It's time for Hayano's daily lose her marbles. Yay! There we go.
There we go. There we go. That's not how I want it to look. I don't want it to look like that. I don't like this. I don't like this, Robert. I see something insane. Ooh! Very cute. Oh, again, when did I collect them as in my marbles? Recently. Recently, I promise. Recently, I promised I collected my marbles. They were somewhere here, and maybe I lost them again somehow. Maybe I lost them again somehow. Who knows? There we go. There's a slider. That's a slider. That's a slider. She says cute. Yeah, the emotes are cute. What, am I not allowed to say things are cute anymore, guys? What the fuck? This is homophobia? And I will not stand for it. There we go. Okay, we're doing that. We're doing that because I'm stupid. And I don't know how perspective works. I mean, I do. It's just a load of boxes, but I hate it. There we go. Is that how that would work? Would it be like that? I'm going to eat a baguette on stream. Just a whole ass baguette. I'm going to face reveal just to turn my camera on and eat a baguette. Hiya! Hiya! It's me.
Oui oui baguette.
Oui oui baguette. I'm going to face reveal just to eat an entire fucking baguette. There we go. Oh, I don't like that. Oh! Oh! I'm gonna eat an entire baguette just to forget about my problems. There we go. Ah! No. Ah! Yeah, okay, that's fine. Sorry, I was being a little bit dramatic for that. Get some brie for it. Brie. Brie. That doesn't
We
look
do not
right.
talk about the baguette on stream. Please forget this H has been mentioned or else you will face the wrath of Khan.
The Wrath of Khan. I will take the Wrath of Khan because quite frankly I'm going to scream. That doesn't look right. Oh, I'm going to eat a baguette. No, I'm not. I'm fine. Everything's fine. This is wrong. This is the wrong perspective.
Shiny.
Wrong man. Wrong man. I'm going to die. I don't even have a baguette to eat. I don't even have a whole baguette to eat. That's how mad I am. I already ate it. Shiny. However, I know someone said it looked like a brain. The 6-month looks like a brain. I think Killa said the 6-month looks like a brain. What is a shiny redeem meant to be? Just a legit, hey look a shiny? Yeah! Miss Hayano, does the class have the permission to empty your bowls? You don't have to ask to go to the bathroom. You can just go to the bathroom, you don't have to ask. Where are my badges? Because I wanted to show you what it is, it's not a brain. I'm going crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, good. That's very funny. Really effed up that teachers use bathroom controls, so it's just a way of, like, authoritarianism and forcing people to respect, like, people in power. It's an over abuse of power and one that they take value in because they like to feel like they have some kind of power over the kids, when in reality it should be about like forming a genuine bond with the kids that are in your class. You know? VTuber curse, your problem now. Sorry, I just saw this. I was like, yeah, I guess this was a meme. Lilith never said they were going to the bathroom, Lamau. Yeah, emptying your bowls is going to the bathroom. Thank you for the follow, Pyramid. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I don't know. What am I doing? What was I doing? Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I have the brain of a man who doesn't understand. The teacup? What's the one that looks like a brain? Because there's sugar cubes that look like sugar cubes. There's a tea bag that looks like the tea bag. It's the scone! The scone! The scone looks like a brain, but it's not, it's a scone. There it is. It's a scone. That's what it is. Yes, that it's not brain, I promise. It's a scone. It's a scone. It's a scone, whatever you want to say. But yes, hello, welcome in. In chat, it looks like a brain. Yeah. Unfortunate reality of things not translating when they're far away. Truly. Brains. Brains. Is it for? It's for 8 months. 8 months. 8 months. What am I gonna do, killer? You've been subscribed for too long. You need to stop. I only have a couple more. I only have a few more. What am I meant to do? What am I meant to do? Read me. Okay. Anyway. Yep, there we go. No, you have up to 2 years. I do? I don't even remember when I added up to 2 years. What did I add? That's a question for another day, I'm pretty sure. You pawned me off. I don't know what the... what's the... What is it? What's the saying? I can't remember what this is, how I'm supposed to say what I want to say, but I don't think pawned me off was the correct... I don't think that's... Has anyone got the MS Paint Doodle from Haya before? No. No, absolutely not. No one has ever gotten that. I'd lower it. I could lower it. But I just don't think it's anything that anyone's really been interested in who has been for a longer amount of time. I could lower it. What is it? 50,000? That does seem kind of expensive. Maybe I should lower it to like 10. It's only an MS Paint Doodle. It's not like a whole commission. Where's my beer rewards? Oh, sub for free bonus months of Discord Nitro. Sexy. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Sorry. Don't know why that was a bubble tick. I'm sorry. Alright, edit. Because it's an MS Paint doodle, I'm changing it to... We'll turn it to 10,000. There we go. That seems more reasonable. There we go. There we go. That seems more reasonable, does it not? Chat, are we happy with this? The other art streamer I watched straight up had to remove it because too many people were saving up to 80k for it. Maybe I'll up it again if we get a lot of people who are like, yeah, who are like, you know, redeeming it constantly. Woof. Woof. But yeah, that's me. That's me doing the thing that I do. Which I'm very well known for doing. That's a joke because I'm not very well done for doing art. Look at it. What was I doing with this? Not being an idiot is what I was doing. That's what I was doing. Okay, right. This is like this. And then this would be like here. Oh, I committed to it, and now I'm not sure if I wanted to commit to that. Oh, commitment. I'm being silly, don't worry. I'm being silly. I'm being silly, silly. Silly, silly, silly. Okay, there we go. That's fine. Doesn't really look like a switch, but it's fine. It can be a switch in my heart until I render it. It's a switch in my heart until I render it. I think the streamer got rid of the 8k art redeem because people were only saving for the art and not doing any other redeems at all. 10k is much easier to get and still allows for other redeems to be made and still collect points towards the doodle. Yeah! Now we spam the other redeem. She was worried people were only there for the free commission. Oh, I don't really care. It's an MS Paint doodle. It's literally just gonna be like... friggin... Like this, but on MS Paint. Boom. Guess who this is? Guess who it is? Only correct guesses. It'll have shitty coloring behind it too, to boot. Hope you know this. It'll have shitty coloring behind it to boot. It'll have There we go. Boom. Voila! Voila! I do get it though. I don't think it would be as fun if like people who like never talked just sat in stream and then were like, hey, like I don't mind lurkers though. I get what they're saying, but I also don't mind lurkers. I really don't. I kind of like lurkers, you know? It's fine. It's never really been an issue for me. I don't know, and I don't care to be that person who's like, well, I wouldn't care if I allowed commissions, because at the end of the day, I don't do it, so. Me. Fuck me, I guess. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. This has mostly been a just chatting stream and talking about art more than work stream, but, you know. We at least got some of it done. I reset. My mouth sucks because I can't have a stream open and watch it over at the same time. I gotta decide who I want to watch. Real. The responsibility. She didn't do full commissions. I legit got the last one she did. I can send it in Discord if you'd like. Only if you're comfortable with it. And like I said, I don't particularly mind. If someone wants to sit here and like lurk and then be like, hey, can you draw the character? I'm like, okay. It's gonna be shit. Please understand, it's gonna be shit. I might do like clip paint studio doodle as an option. But I feel like as long as the viewer understands it's gonna be a shit doodle, then, you know. What do you think of Redeem for guiding the raid? Maybe. I think that's more of like a... Oh my god. I think that's more of a community question if you guys want it. I think that's kind of the reason I want it. A shiny version of my PFB would be perfect. A shitty version of my PFB would be perfect. Yeah. That's what I said. The MS Paint one's gonna be super shitty. I might do like a eventual like, oh hey, if you would like a clip paint studio of your doodle of your character. But again, I'm not really a character artist. What was the last piece that I did? I did a piece for... Oh god, do I want to show this? These are so bad. For those who don't know, I was recently on Aito's, he's actually doing another one tonight, but he was doing a 900 follower celebration, and while I was on it, I drew this, which, this is about the extent of my doodled humans. This is about the extent of my doodled humans. So, yeah. Yes, Curse of the Hands. Truly, I did not want to draw hands. I didn't want to fucking draw hands. Not both, at least. I've drawn this for Aito. Feet for free? Yeah, they just have their feet out. They just have their feet out. I literally do these all the goddamn time. I am consistently in Aito server being like, hey, I did another one of these silly little guys. They take like 5 minutes to do and they're very fun. I like them. I like this one in particular. I like the chunky hands. I like the chunky silly hands. But I do like this one as well. The right foot was backwards on the same one. Yeah. Hee. The nice thing about these things is it's just like, they're so silly and like fast that there's not a lot of pressure to be any kind of way with them, because the shading is literally just done by like the highlighter pen I have. and that's it. They're so silly. But if I watch stream at all, I will usually like do some of these. I don't do them for Hayano because I think Hayano has such a complicated design, and I prefer simpler designs for doing these. But no, I do fuck around quite a bit. Never goon. Is there anything else that like I've done semi-recently that I'm actually like happy with? Not really. Not really. Nothing to shout about. Really nothing. Oh, I guess I did this Pocket IO. Ha 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 ha. I also did this. This is absolutely based on like a base. Twitch is still not letting me type without highlighting. Oh no! What? 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 That sucks. That sucks. Why is Twitch doing that? That's such a weird thing for Twitch to do, actually. I wish I owned the Nevergoon shirt. Me too. Me too. I like silly shirts like that, especially for bedtime. So is Hayano the earth spirit that resides inside of Ren's physical body? So, yeah, kinda. Kinda. Yandere Haya. Yeah, kind of. I mean, if you had to put it in that way, I guess, yeah. Like, I obviously IRL don't go by.
Which is why the speaking it doesn't work for me.
It does now, apparently. It does now, apparently. Yeah, Haya is like who I am when I stream. It worked, what the fuck is happening? I don't know. That's so weird. That's so strange. I'm sorry, Sai. That's so strange. Yeah, I think Hayano is very much me, but like it's me who is better at human. And then IRL, you don't go by Ren. Not for a while. I used to for a while, but no. I haven't in a while. I go by my birth name. I go by a shortened version of my birth name because I don't think this is a weird thing to say. I go by a shortened version of my birth name because it's gender neutral. So, yeah. I heard Hayano is very much big. Oh, you were gonna get whoa, big lady. Yeah, she is big. Super cute drawing. I like it. I had a lot of fun with this one. Like I said, I do stupid ass doodles all the time. I'm so stupid about it. I'm like, the only time I post artwork is when I do stupid doodles. Otherwise, I absolutely do not at all. Hi, I don't think anyone here would ever judge you if you identified as gender neutral or anything else. Yeah, it's complicated. It's so complicated. It's such a complicated conversation to have. Hi, Elma, how you doing? Welcome in. And hello, Lucky Guy 98JW. Hey, boss, how you doing today? I'm doing good. I'm hanging out with the beans. Vibing even. I don't go by my first name, but that's because my cousin has the same name. I go by my middle name. See, it's pretty normal. It's such a conversation because I feel like Hayano is very clearly she/her. I don't personally put myself under the trans umbrella because being completely let's be completely transparent for a second. the person behind Hayano is, and I'm hesitant to say this, but the person behind Hayano is gender fluid, and that's a complicated conversation to have with people. I tend to use the moniker non-binary, but I don't personally. I struggle using like the overarching umbrella that is trans, because I have frequently in my life been told I am not trans enough. And I've frequently been told in my life I'm not non-binary enough. And that's a me issue. And that's totally a me issue. Like, that's no one else's. And it's not something negative. I don't see it as something negative. It's just my experience with gender, and that's okay. I don't wanna have to justify myself to anyone else in that way. And I don't wanna have to prove that to someone else. So my gender identity is something that's for me personally. I didn't consider myself as trans at first. I thought I was appropriating a label that wasn't for me. Yep. I've learned though that non-binary falls under trans. I'm a very similar way. And it's just me. It's just me. It's just me. And yeah, I am pretty stepped away from the community. I wish I wasn't. I really do. I absolutely support the community with all my fucking might. And I love the community so dearly. And I would do anything to protect people who watch my streams who are trans, who are questioning, who are whatever they are. But for me, Hayano is a female design. And that's it. Hayano is a female design, so it makes sense for her to be she, her. And I can separate Hayano enough that I don't really mind. That's cool, I don't really get it, but do what makes you feel awesome. Sorry for being kind of ignorant on the matter. You're not that's not ignorant. That's just what anyone should say, in my opinion. It's like, you don't owe me anything to understand. I think the level of understanding you have that you're exhibiting is perfectly fine. Like, you don't need to totally understand what goes on to be supportive. Yeah, ignorance and respect are not mutually exclusive. You can be ignorant and respectful. And even then, I don't think it's necessarily ignorant to be like, hey, I don't get it, but as long as you're happy, I'm happy. That's just kind of how it should be, I think. You don't have to totally understand everything. Gender is all personal, and it's very wrapped up in like who you are and how you feel about it. And I think that's a very personal thing. And I don't think inherently you can understand unless you you'll only ever understand your own experience with gender. And we can understand on some level each other and respect. Hey, that's what ignorance is, though, not knowing about or understanding a thing. Well, yeah, but I don't think... I do get that is what it is. But I think ignorance is such a strong word for it. I think in, like, how today's language has shaped, ignorance is such a strong word for it. Especially with how that's thrown around in, like, such a more, like, aggressive way than it used to be. The connotation of ignorant has been turned into negative. Absolutely. By the way, Blutiful, thank you so much for the, I believe, hold on, sorry, I'm stupid. Did I read that wrong? I think I saw you redeem something, or maybe... Oh my god, I'm so dumb. Hello, welcome in. I fear that may be my first time ever chatting. No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I usually like quietly. No, do not worry. Do not worry at all. Sorry to like highlight you all of a sudden like that. My goodness. I did not mean to like add that stress or anything. Yes. Yes. I'm it's because of how society uses the term. Yes. That's why I'm a little bit tentative to allow someone to say that they're ignorant about themselves when they're clearly establishing a very positive narration around something. And that's very good. That's very I don't want me to immediately jump in and be like, yes, you are ignorant. But it's like, I think ignorant kind of nowadays implies a lack of willingness to learn. And I don't think that's true at all. I believe everyone, well, maybe not everyone, but I like to believe that everyone wants to learn. I think everyone at some point in their life wants to understand a fellow human being. And I never want to discourage that. No worries, I just wanted to say something because I felt very similarly on the topic. Yes. It was the hey, hi, hello that you redeemed. I see it now. Sorry, my thing was being weird and I was like, ooh. Hello, how good are you? It go well. I was taking a mild break from it to see how I felt about it in a sec. If anyone needs to talk about gender identity, I'm not an expert, but I'm open to discussing these things with people who are genuinely interested in learning about gender and such. And I am the same way. I will always, albeit tentatively, talk about my gender. Because my relationship with gender expression is very unique to myself, and I understand that's very complicated. And I don't ask anyone else to understand that because it's something I'm working through. And I think I'll spend the rest of my life figuring it out. I think I'll spend the rest of my life figuring out where I am. I tuned in from studying my social and gender psychology class, so this feels like I'm in a lecture. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I am so very sorry if you came here to take a break and it's here as well. I think we will all be figuring ourselves out until we return to the universe. Yes. Yeah. That's my full belief. And therefore that's just how it is. And I think learning about that and being close enough to someone to touch their soul in that way, to share how you are, it's a very beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing to share in that adventure with other people. And I've always strived to create a community where people feel safe to ask questions, people feel like they're not judged. It can even be multiple people, yeah. That's just how it goes. Everyone's different. Everyone's got their own stuff going on, and that's just how it is. Which is weird to put it like that, I suppose. But I don't know. I by the way, this is not me saying people who want to be out there and like representative of their gender and absolutely like be defined by it and like it be like a part of their like gender identity and that be a part of their personal identity. I'm all in the court of those people. Fuck yeah. You rep that shit hard and you get the respect you deserve. It's just not personally what I do. My gender to me is a very personal thing, and it's a very beautiful thing. Everyone is deserving of love and understanding. The only time I turn someone away is when they're being hateful and trying to feign ignorance of their wrongdoing. Yes, that is correct. I will always try with people. I will genuinely always try with people, and that's all you can do. But if it comes at the great extent of your own mental health or your own well-being, it's important to know when to step away and look after yourself, because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, literally at the end of the day, when you are with yourself laying in bed at night, you are with yourself. And you have to reckon with that. You have to be a person with that. And being that person can be hard. So you've always got to focus on yourself first. Everyone deserves love and understanding and the chance to be educated. But you're allowed to step away and allow someone else to step into that place. It's about balancing the two. It's about creating a good community where you can have those conversations, and then being aware that maybe if you touch enough people's hearts, they'll eventually carry the torch as well. That when you teach a class of people, per se, that those people are gonna go and they're gonna spread that teaching. That they're gonna continue to pass along the things you've said. Well, yeah, I gotta make it known you're not a doormat as well. Yeah, that's the very blunt way to put it. I think I see all of the world how it is, and you can call it a bit silly, but I want to be at least a little bit romantic about it. And I know there's things you can't be. You have to be blunt sometimes. But I love people. I love hearing people. I love understanding people. I think it's such a beautiful thing to be able to do. And, you know, that's it. That's what keeps me going. And yeah, I take breathers, don't worry. I got myself. Good food does help. Good food is everything to me. Talking about good food, we are about 30 seconds out from an ad, which means I get to do another cheese run, which means I get to get a block of cheese and put it in my mouth. But for that, what that will look like for you is we'll take a quick ad break, and yeah, I will see you guys. And don't worry, you won't miss anything, because when you take an ad break, I take an ad break, and we all take an ad break, which means stretch, hydrate, and look after yourself, and go get food if you haven't already. I will see you guys after the break. My mouth was so sticky, I made a mistake. I made such a mistake. Hello. The cracker is dry. Anyway, hello. Hello, everyone. Grab my memory on top. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Wahoo! She's back. I am indeed. Sorry, I'm just very quickly copy pasting it so that I might so I might make a little bit of progress. Hello. I crave chocolate milk. Chocolate milk. Wonderful. Alright. I think free is gonna be fine for this. Yeah, let's go free. Let's go free. Alright. Hello. Alright, let me swap back. Hello. We're about to talk about something that's semi-important, but also not incredibly important. Oh, my phone is gonna die. Whoops. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. When it gets to like 2%, I'll remove it. When it gets to 2%, I'll remove my phone. And we'll have sleeping Hayano for the last part of stream. Right. So. We're gonna do some grabbies. We're gonna do some grabbies. We're gonna do some grabbies. If you're wondering what grabbies are, you'll see. You'll see. I know that I at least want this part to be like this. There we go. There we go. So I guess it's the main color that we're really trivializing with. I think I make this a little bit darker. Yeah, like that. Like that! Okay. Alright. Let's see. Alright.
Now let's make this a little bit darker. Put it like here. Now let's make this a little bit darker and put it like here. Maybe a little bit darker than that, actually. Just a little bit. There we go. There we go. So I'm thinking for color variations. For base color variations, let me look. Let me do the brain cell and look. Do a little looky. Yes. Okay. So I think we also want to do the internals, the guts, if you will. The guts. Let's up the tolerance. Let's up the tolerance. Beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. There we go. Let's fix that. There we go. Let's grab this color. Let's make it a little lighter. And we'll do this. Actually, no, we'll do the middle parts as a little bit lighter. Well, then we'll do the round parts. These parts. As this color. There we go. Alright. Okay. We're also gonna do these, the switch, as the lighter gray. There we go. There we go. Alright. Looks good to me. Excellent. Okay. Now, the main chunk of the case that's gonna have color. Sup? Hello, little homie kings. Welcome in, welcome in. I like the detail you put into it. Very nice. This is just like a draft up version, so we'll see if the person reviewing it ends up liking it. We shall see. Hehehe. So the next thing we want to look at is colors. So from what I've seen, the classic colors are I'm not gonna even fuss with the... I'm not even gonna futz, if you will, with the grey, because we know it's gonna be grey. Instead, we're gonna sample from a real live Walkman Sports. And I think I want this where the highlight is, because this is like... maybe the darker one. Maybe the darker. What's the darker look like? Like a mustard yellow? Yeah, we'll directly highlight. How do we feel about this? I think I'm gonna add a little bit more orange to it, rather than keep it how it is. That could be a little bit lighter, actually. Yeah, I think that's the color. Slightly desaturated, slightly lighter. Okay. So that's this one that we're gonna try. And I know that they paired this one with like a... They paired this one with like a teal, but they also paired it with a blue. So I think I'm gonna go with the blue for the buttons. I'm wondering if this is
Yeah, the values are too similar to that, so I'm gonna kind of brighten it up ever so slightly. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna brighten it up ever so slightly. I'm gonna try this. So we're not keeping it the exact same color, but we're keeping it the same color theme as the original Walkman. So there's one. I think for the second one, we're gonna take that blue that we just used, and we're gonna change it just a little bit so it's less saturated. It's more of like a this, maybe like a darker tone, maybe? Maybe we just take that blue, like the original blue, like this one. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Let's do that for this one. And then a very common, because we don't want to do the blue and yellow again, and I think yellow buttons kind of like do. People pay you to make art for them. Well, that is the plan, yes. I have been paid to make art in the past. This is for an animation project, like it's prop design for an animation project. But I'm not super stressed about getting paid for this because it was an old classmate who did a lot of stuff for me, so I'm totally fine with we're doing the classic you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of situation. But the idea is for it eventually to maybe result in a job. I'd love to work in the animation industry. I mean, obviously I do commissions and like individual freelance work, but you know. The end goal is to always eventually get into, industry. Or at least industry adjacent, I kind of like that more. And I think I'm gonna do this one on this one. Thank you for the follow, little homie kings. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And thank you for redeeming your point taxes, Licky. They go back into the community and definitely not into my pocket to eat when no one's looking. Alright, yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like that color theme. But is that going to translate well to black and white? We'll see. We'll see. I might have to brighten up the orange. I'm going to lighten up the orange actually already. No, not like that. I think I'm going to add more yellow to it. Yeah, there we go. That's a better value. So this is like kind of like a detailed mock-up. At least a semi-detailed mock-up. But this will not be the final thing. This will be like a... It takes a little bit more time. It's got to go through a couple more passes before it hits the final. And of course, that means rounds of feedback and whatnot. So this is kind of the first sketch, you might say. Lucky, thank you for the posture check. I will posture check. Make sure you're not shrimping either. And thank you for the hydrate. Ha! And then to the last one, I kind of want to go green for the last one. I kind of want to do lime green, like a lime green version. I feel like lime green is something that kind of like reads with a bunch of like tech in my heart, like a lime. I know the traditional one was like a light grey. Also, thank you for the hydrate. I did in fact hydrate. I think the traditional one people go for is a light grey, but I
kind of want to do? Maybe I want to do a teal. Because, like, there's a little bit of teal on here that I could use. Because I want to use colours that were kind of associated with different generations of the Walkman. So maybe I go teal. Maybe teal. We'll try the teal. We'll try the teal and see how I feel about it. Heh, try the teal and see how I feel. Hee 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 hee. Maybe a little bit lighter. There we go. And what do I want to pair with this? Maybe the yellow. Maybe I bring back the yellow. I think I'm going to bring back the yellow. I'm not going to have as much of it on as I did the orange. Maybe? I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe like more of an analogous color, so maybe like a lime green. Like less, more analogous, less opposite. Actually, that shouldn't be on this layer, that should be on that layer. Oopsies! Oopsies, wrong layer. There we go. Okay. Alright, I can return to this later. How do I feel about this? How do I feel about this? Do I want more green on here somewhere? Maybe like here. On this one. Like where it overlays. Hold on. Let me see if I can isolate this out. And then I think this benefits from also being green. Yeah, okay. I think that's kind of nice. Kind of different vibe. Maybe also like all the way across, like here as well. Something to consider. No, I don't like. Oh, maybe I do like that. Yeah, I think that's interesting. I think that's an interesting take on it. So we got the definitely classic, the kind of ooh interesting, and then we've got the really out of the box colors. I think that's good. Already on bed, shrimp, not necessarily. Indeed. Well, I gotta get back to studying. I got a quiz on Friday. I hope you have a good day. I hope you do too. Thank you for popping in and thank you for following. I really appreciate it. Hee hee. I think the middle deep blue one wouldn't pop well for the astronaut short. Well, I was thinking that as well. And then I think I'd still better add it because I made these two like very bright. But the reason I made this one darker is because if they decide to make the suit white. Because if the suit is if the suit is a grey, I totally get this version or this version. But the reason why I'm adding this one is because if they make the suit white. Because then the dark pop is gonna pop against it. Are they using the traditional white spaceman suit? Yes, that's what I'm worried about. So I've added versions for like a grey, kind of like a dark grey kind of suit, and then I've added a provisional version of is this the white suit. Also, again, this is gonna be black and white, so if I new correction later, hue, saturation, luminosity. If we turn the saturation all the way down, this one's probably the best one. So I assume this is the one they're gonna end up going with. But for just color reasons, they might consider this one. Either way,
they're obviously going to be black and white, so they need to look good black and white as well. This one, the blue could actually probably do with being darker. Maybe like a really dark blue, actually. Yeah, I think the blue could be do with being darker. I think spacewalk suits have to be white to reflect solar radiation. That might be the case. I mean, there's also like a level of, are they gonna totally go realistic with it, you know? I'm not immune to that being a possibility, that they don't go super, super realistic with it. There you go, that looks a bit better in terms of values now. So then we got the really dark one, we got the one that has a little bit of extra contrast in, and then we've got the light one. Okay, yeah, I'm down for that. That looks good. I'm happy with that. I might make the base plastic a little bit lighter, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel. We will see. I like the classic Walkman one. It's classic for a reason, you know? That being said, yeah, no, that looks pretty good, actually. Might be kind of worth to go yellow for the button, though. You know what I'm saying? And maybe on this one we go teal with the button. Yeah, okay. I'm into that. I might lighten the blue, actually, the teal. We might lighten the teal a little bit. Yeah, that looks better. There we go! Yay! Values! There we go. Yatta! Values! We did it, guys. I might want to actually make that a little bit more, like, here. Hold on. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, there we go. Yeah! Yeah! Excellent. I'm very happy with these colors, actually. That's very good colors. I like the colors a lot. I'm going to... Am I still in the... this one. Okay, whatever. Okay. Alright, I'm pretty happy with these. I am pretty pleased with these. I'm sending the versions over. There we go. I'm obviously gonna do another shaped version in my own time. Hello! I like Rhythm Games 2106. Welcome in. I'm very happy with these. I'm very pleased. I go, wait, see y'all later. Thank you for popping in, Lucky. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I hope you had a fun time while you were here. I very much appreciate having you in. Have a good sleep. Oh shit. Sorry, I gotta plug in my phone. Oh! Sorry. Model gun. Model gun. Model gun because, phone dead. Forgot I need to plug in phone. Forgot that was a thing that needed to be done. Okay, there we go. There we go. Fixed. Chill time. Enjoying this. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you like it. I think the sticker's probably gonna go like somewhere there. I'll design the sticker separately, obviously. But yeah, we had one of the drafts taken forward. I'm gonna probably take this draft forward next. Probably take this one forward as well. But thank you so much for popping in. I really do appreciate it. And yeah. I think that was good though. I think we had a good time. So thank you. I'm fine, drawn. Finna be peak, yeah. Finna be peak indeed. However, I think we are going to leave it there for today. So, thank you for everyone who came in. Thank you for everyone who hung out. I'm glad I got to work on this with you. Like I said, I was very, very nervous about streaming art. I was very, very nervous about streaming art. Sag. Yeah. I will definitely consider adding this as a permanent stream edition. If enough people enjoyed it and liked it, then maybe it can enter the full rotation. If we think that people had fun with it. But I very much appreciate you popping in. Everyone saying hello. Is anyone I know live? I'm a very big fan of the art and yap stream. Yes, I like doing just chatting streams. I don't know if I'm fully in on the art, just because, like I said, I'm not super proficient with it all. But you know, so thank you for everyone who came today. I think we're just gonna end out today. I'm a little tired. But thank you so much for everyone who popped in. Thank you so much for everyone who hung out. And if you haven't yet and you joined the community today, or you've been hanging out in the community, here is our... Why didn't you work? Why didn't that work? Hold on. I was gonna say, here's our Discord. Well, here is our Discord. Woo! Here's our Discord. Here's our Discord link. If you liked hanging out with the community, or you want to hang out more, or you want to see what the community has to offer, there's a Discord. Hang out with us. Chill out. Join if you'd like. I will be back tomorrow with more Pokemon ZA. We are absolutely caning the last chunk of ZA so that I can have my days back in order to play other games. And of course, in preparation for Pokemon DLC, ZA drop. Of course, because we want to play that, don't we? Yes. So, I will see you guys all on the other side. I'll see you tomorrow for some more Pokemon ZA. And thank you. I had a very fun time today. And I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye!